Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brennan again. You are watching BBSM, Boss Barbell Strength Method, Cycle 2, Week 4, Deadlift Day, which I have dubbed Doomsday. And I call it that because I honestly thought that I was going to die looking at what I had to do. So here you see my first working set on deadlifts, starting off with 500 pounds for as many reps as possible. Now, I have never attempted this before, so it's definitely going to be interesting. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I did was I did stop rep deadlifts, meaning I reset every time instead of bouncing. Now, if I bounced, I might have been able to get a couple more reps. I didn't really want to test it. I just wanted to really focus on getting some good pulls. And I was really actually happy with this. I felt like I controlled the weight very well. I also didn't have to reset my grip at all, so my grip held up very well considering that this is pretty heavy for me, and I ended up getting 8 reps. Now, I called it at 8 reps just because I felt like my form was starting to break down some. Not to mention, I had some other stuff coming up, as I mentioned, as the Doomsday was upon us. So this set took a lot out of me, and I was lucky because that was my only real pulls from the floor that day. I also want to take this time to mention that you probably saw the new Forged Iron training logo in my opening montage. You can also see I'm wearing their shirt as well. This is one of my buddies' clothing line, and I'm going to be representing their brand in some of these workout videos. Now, on to the next exercise. You have 520 pounds on the bar, and this was done for block pulls. So the first working set is done for 5 reps, and these are definitely tough as well, especially following up that as many reps as possible set. These block pulls really take your legs out of it, so this is kind of like a rack pull, just a little bit lower. You can also see that my socks are not aligned, and that's something a lot of you guys have noticed in each video. Trust me, it's not done on purpose. So moving on to the next working set, we bumped the weight up to 535 pounds, and this too was an as many rep as possible set. So I believe this might be the heaviest I've gone on these block pulls, as well as the fact that it's an AMRAP set. Again, I wasn't really sure what to expect. My goal here was to just get some good solid pulls in while maintaining my form, and I felt that I did that for the most part. Again, this is a learning experience for me too. I'm still trying to tweak some things out, but I can say that I am really proud of the fact that, again, my grip held up very well here. I had no issues with grip. However, towards the 5th rep of this, which I think is where I called it quits, I was starting to get a big pump in my lower back, and again, I don't want to overdo it just yet. I want to stay safe as always. Alright, so those are only 2 working sets of the block pulls, which was good, and we moved on to only 1 working set of the deficit deads, which might sound good at first, but again, this was for as many reps as possible, and in this case, we're using 435 pounds. So you can see myself trying to get set here. Also, you'll notice before each actual set, I'll really focus on bringing in a lot of air because I'm trying to fill up my stomach and really kind of feel it in my lower back, only to make sure that, again, I stay safe. Now, for this being as many rep as possible set, I wasn't really sure what to expect. Are you guys noticing a theme here yet? Just wanted to focus on some good pulls. You will notice that my hips shoot up a little bit early, but that's kind of to be expected in this case where we're at a deficit. So I believe I ended up getting 8 reps here. Again, my grip was fine, but my lower back was definitely feeling a huge pump in it. Nothing to the point where it was actually painful, but it was something where I just didn't want to overdo it and end up risking getting hurt. So this day definitely tested my merits, and it's funny too because you can see in my face that it's definitely kicking my ass. I think a lot of times in a lot of my workout videos, you don't really notice that I'm really overexerting myself, but this day definitely was the case. So from there, we moved on to the next exercise, which is 2 working sets of chin-ups, 6 to 8 reps with weight added on. So I'm using an 80-pound dumbbell here, and I ended up getting 6 reps for each set, although you will only be seeing the first actual working set here. So this is a little bit heavier from last week. Last time I went out, I did 75 pounds for 2 sets of 8. This week is 80 pounds for 2 sets of 6. And then finally, the last exercise of the day was 3 sets of 15 for 1-arm dumbbell rows. Right here, we're using 85 pounds. I kept the weight static for all 3 sets. Again, you're only going to see the first working set here because there's nothing different between this one and the following 2 sets after it. So I did all 3 sets for 15 reps each with 85 pounds. Towards the 3rd set, I was feeling very fatigued, and I was very glad that this workout was over. Went home, had a big breakfast, got a lot of food in, and then got ready to go to work. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and in the meantime, stay big.